Shalom. Kal halayim la Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Waha Raha Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to the apostles, the elders, the teachers, the men of Great Millstone. To you I say Shalom. It's your brother Amraya, and let's get into it. I've had a few people contact me recently, and just not anyone from the camp or disciples, so to speak, just regular, everyday, average people that know what I believe and have come to me and asked me a few questions about the sons of God being Anunnaki, or the sons of God being angels that have come down and had sex with women. And, they're gathering all of this from Gen 6 and some pagan Christianity teachers, okay? And the problem with this whole Gen 6 sons of God being angels that have come down and inserted themselves into human being women and created monstrosities, it just doesn't hold up under the microscope, okay? Now, what are they using to promote this bullshit point of view? And before I get into what they're using, let me just say unequivocally, without question, the sons of God were flesh and blood men, okay? And I'm going to prove this to you. But before we get into that, let's start here at Gen 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. So this is kind of giving you a context of the beginning stages of the earth. So it came to pass that men began to multiply on the face of the earth. Okay. Verse 2. That the sons of Yahweh saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, meaning they were attractive. Verse 2 again. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and that they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Okay? And it goes on to talk about how wickedness increased in the earth in those days. Okay? The problem is, they were all giants at that point in history. Okay? What we modern people would consider giants. Okay? And when it says the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were attractive, and they took wives, all of which they chose, then were giants in the earth in those days, and also after, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Okay. For some reason, a bug out will take this, combine it with some, Anunnaki, Gen 6 production, storyline where angels come down, and they try to connect this to the book of Enoch. And the book of Enoch, I've read that book long before I got into the truth. And, the Spirit told me back when I read it, this was not of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? This was not something that I needed to pay attention to, the book of Enoch, because it had no association with the true word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? And for all of you out there that have read that book and it's causing you to bug out, you err not knowing the scriptures, okay? This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. See, you're not supposed to be studying all these other texts and books and, literatures dealing with confirming your faith in this truth. All you need is the book of the Lord, which is the Bible, the Holy Scriptures, the laws, statutes, and commandments. Anything else is pretty much uncivilized, okay, and not really worth your time. So you can't be studying these other books thinking you're going to get some type of great wisdom out of it. It's just not there. Stick with the Bible, people. But continuing on. Now, yes, the sons of God did see the daughters of men were fair, but the sons of God in those days were they were kind of like the Israelites of that time. Okay, they were chosen by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, to receive the word. They had the law, statutes, and commandments. So they were considered the sons of God because of their association with his commandments, laws, and statutes. Okay, it had nothing to do with them coming from, heaven down into earth or outer space into earth as aliens or as angels and procreating with the daughters of men. Now, how do I know this? And this lesson is not going to be very long. I just wanted to hit a quick touch. But they do err not knowing the scriptures. So I go to Hebrews chapter 2, and there's a reason why I got Hebrews chapter 2. We're going to go to verse 14. Pay attention. It says, "For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood." Children, wouldn't a son be considered a child, children of the Most High? So if you're to be considered a son of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, you must be partakers of flesh and blood. Simple. And so many people overlook it, trying to come up with their own doctrine, this amazing, story plot that has nothing to do with the actual scriptures, that they're not studying to show themselves approved, a workman rightly dividing the word of truth, who need not be ashamed, roughly paraphrasing, okay? But here again, Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. "For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he, who is he? Yahweh Shai, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death, that is, the devil." Okay, and a lot of these crazy doctrines that these people are getting, they're getting it from the devil. Okay, who is putting stumbling blocks in your pathway so that you don't complete your marathon. Okay, at the end of the day, to be considered a son of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh is whom you ignorantly call God, Yahweh Shai is whom you ignorantly call Jesus. If you are to be considered a son of Yahweh, you must be partaker of flesh and blood, meaning they were human beings. They were not some, angelic race that came down like in the book of Enoch and started teaching them divination and dividing of roots and speaking incantations and spells and shit. Okay. These were men. Okay. Separating themselves from the law, statutes, and commandments to partake of the other nations that had no knowledge of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That is what it is speaking of in Gen 6. And for reference, we go back. "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons, the partakers of flesh and blood, that the sons of Yahweh saw the daughters of men, the other nations, that they were attractive, and they took them wives, all which they chose." Verse 4, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons, partakers of flesh and blood of Yahweh, the sons of Yahweh came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown." If you don't know what the Bible is referring to, don't go picking up other books for reference. The Bible explains itself perfectly. If you are going to consider yourself a man of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and you claim to know Yahweh, you must read his word. You must study to show yourself approved. As it says here, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, study to show yourself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Huh? John 8, and this is where we're going to finish out on. John chapter 8, verse 31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. You must continue in the word. You must study to show yourself approved. You can't be listening to all these different winds and doctrines around here, because half of that shit is junk. If you're really going to take this road, this narrow path less traveled as a disciple, trying to rightfully divide up the word of truth, you must study to show yourself approved. You must continue in his word. Hopefully this has been edifying. Until the next time, shalom.